first monoplane fighter was the P-26. It had an all-metal monocoque fuselage. While it was modern in this respect, it also had wire-braced wings, an open cockpit, fixed landing gear, and a fixed-pitch propeller. Initially, it had only one small caliber machine gun, hence called the Peashooter. Various other gun combinations were added as production proceeded. Technology was moving very fast in this time frame. This made the P-26 a very modern and yet a very quickly obsolete fighter. At the beginning of World War II, it was completely outclassed, but was used in action mostly by the Philippine Air Force. The kit is by Hasegawa, marketed in the United States by Minicraft. Here's the box. There's the one side. One end. Other side, and not much difference there. At one time in the distant past, I became fascinated by the between-the-wars fighter planes built in the United States for the Air Force or Army Air Corps and the Navy. And I got into building them. Here's an example. I'll point out that it has a lot of wire rigging. Here's another. You can see that my rigging isn't really great. Rigging, oh my goodness, it lost a wheel. Rigging these aircraft was obviously not my strong point. However, right now I'm ready to try it again, I guess. Also, aircraft of this era, as you can see, tended to have very bright paint schemes. Such paint schemes are also not a strong point of my modeling. Well, I'm not sure I have strong points. The parts are colored to match the paint scheme, sort of. Here is a complete parts layout. We'll start with the unconventional, for me, process of starting with step one and assembling the interior components to be put inside the fuselage. Here are the interior components ready to install and painted. And right here, before I've even gotten out the glue, we run into the first problem, major problem of the assembly. I tried to install the decals onto the instrument panel, and the decal would not come off the paper, not at room temperature water, not with hot water, and when I tried to force it, it broke into a lot of pieces. Oh well, blundering on. Here's the assembled fuselage after a great deal of fitting. The seams, particularly here on the nose, were pretty prominent, and I'm trying to fix that. And we lost one machine gun in the process, but it was easily reinstalled, I think. Next step is the engine assembly, which is a model kit in itself. In the next step, we start the wheel and wing assembly, including the wire rigging. We're ready for some major subassembly.
to be installed. The wires have represented by fishing line have all been installed in the wings, and the wings have been assembled, and we're ready to assemble that into the fuselage.
So here we're assembling the wheels as part of the wheels and wing assembly. I finally finished all the rigging of the P26. Well, maybe I should say I finally finished the rigging again. I have little doubt that it will be doing it many times over, because every time I touch the model, something comes loose. The wing rigging is attached to the inside of the wing on the inboard positions, so that attachment is secure. Unfortunately, the inside fuselage side is very hard to get tension on, so some of them appear a little loose. The wires between the landing gear are much more difficult. There is no way to tension them, so I resorted to using stiff wire. After repeated trials and retrials of attachment, the attachment points are far from elegant. Pretty sure I did every single joint more than once. I'm sure I poked some out of position picking up the model to pick the next one. Considerable time was wasted waiting for the glue to dry. Sometimes I waited days because I didn't want to go back and try again. Anyway, on to the next step. The horizontal tail surfaces, tail wheel, cockpit, windscreen, and other small details were installed. I attempted to install the defective decals. I soaked them in hot water for like 4 hours. I managed to salvage 3 of the 4 stars. One of them is obviously damaged. This kit fought me all the way. Not that it's a bad kit, other than it's just old. But it is a difficult kit, and I certainly had my difficulties. The rigging literally took me a month. The small details and my old fingers didn't get along well together. I'm not real proud of the results, but at least I finished it with some degree of precision. I think it's time to move on to a simpler kit. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like and subscribe. Thank you.